Hi everyone, this is a screencast video on Revit structure and focusing specifically on the Analytical Model Settings tab within the Structural Settings window. As you can see here, I have this window open. If you'd like to get to that window, go to the Manage tab of the ribbon, Structural Settings. In here you have all the different tabs for how to control the structural aspects of your Revit model. Under Analytical Model Settings, there are a whole bunch of options that we have to work with. The first one is automatic checks. If the check mark is placed for member supports and or analytical physical model consistency, what that means is that as you are designing and creating your Revit model, it will actually do an analytical structural check on those member supports, the connections, and the physical model and how its consistency is against the analytical model. In other words, if you create a Revit model, for example, a wall and a beam, and the analytical model of the column and the beam, they don't connect, or they're too far away from the limits, for example, support distance, then you'll get an automatic error that pops up right away. By default, this box and this box is not checked, and that way it allows the Revit software to run faster. The objective and the understanding with automatic checks is so that you go through the process of creating your Revit model, as you normally do. You let the software create the analytical model at the same time in the background, and then when you're ready for the aspect of checking your model analytically, that's when you go ahead and use these check marks. All right. Under tolerances, you have the ability to specify the distance for each of the different options. For example, support distance of 1 foot means that if the members are supposed to connect and they don't connect and they are past the 1 foot distance, then a warning will automatically pop up. You have analytical to physical model distance is 6 inches. So again, that means the physical 3D model against the analytical model members. If they have a distance of greater than 6 inches, then you'll get a warning. Analytical auto detect horizontal is also set to 1 foot. So if it's within a 1 foot tolerance, it will automatically connect. The analytical model members will connect. Otherwise, they won't. Same thing with the vertical and any links as well. Member support checks here under circular references is checked by default. What that means is that it's looking at the analytical model to see whether you have a really bad structural design on how things are connecting and holding each other up. For example, you can't have a column connected to a beam that's where there's another beam connected to the first beam, and you kind of do that in a circular or rectangular fashion, and they kind of go on top of each other. That would be considered a circular reference. You have analytical physical model consistency checks for connectivity, adjusting the way the default location is set, beams and floors, and basically each one of these checks. Just go through the ones that you want to look at and check what you need to check. And then lastly, you have analytical model visibility. Obviously, the features are there for you to work with and make adjustments if you need to or not. And then let's see. And that's it, really. That's all the options that you have in the Analytical Model Settings tab. This screencast was to help answer an additional request for a prior screencast on structural settings, on load combinations, and a video prior to that on just general settings in general. And that's it. Thank you very much.